As it is rightly said by Pope Francis, the whole journey of life is a journey of preparation to see, to feel, to understand the beauty of what lies ahead, of that homeland towards which we walk. Hello everyone, I am Nancy Kujul, the Youth President of Christ the King Church, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. And here I am to discover the experiences that has been lived and are living along different roads and which has left a mark on times. I'm glad that we have Sister Rufina here with us today, who is also our youth animator. I have been working with her since 5 years and she has been an inspiration to all of us. Watching her work with us, the energy and the life she has got in her, it's so marvelous. Hello and welcome Sister Rufina. I'm glad that you're here. I'm really excited and curious to know about your journey. So sister, can you please introduce yourself, about your studies and the work you're involved at present?
Thank you, Nancy. Well, I am Sister Rufina, belong to the congregation of the Franciscan Hospitaller Sisters of the Immaculate Conception. I am a finally professed sister with perpetual vows. On 31st May 2021, I completed 25 years in my religious life. Well, about my studies, I have done my bachelor's in social work and master's in sociology from Mumbai University, and also undergone training for trainers organized by Don Bosco Tech Society on leadership, on gender mainstreaming. I am also a life skill and a soft skill trainer. At present, I am involved in the mission of skilling the marginalized rural youth, collaborating with Don Bosco here in Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, India.
So happy to know that you're finally professed and completed 25 years. Sister, I would like to know that what do you exactly mean by finally being professed?
Perpetual vows or finally professed is commonly called final vows. By finally professed, I mean I have made a final decision to give myself to Jesus. It is to be His bride forever. On the day of my religious profession, I promised to live the vows of poverty, chastity, obedience for the rest of my life.
Thank you, sister. I am inspired by what you said. Now I understand that a candidate for the religious life gets ample of opportunities and time to reflect over her life before she commits her life perpetually to the Lord. So sister, to lighten up the mood, I have set up a game for you. I know that you're always up for creative games. I have some set of questions for you. You just have to pick a color of your own choice and whatever question comes, you have to answer that. So, are you ready, sister, for the game?
Yes, Nancy.
Oh, sister, you have chosen the red one, the brightest color. Now, so let us look at the question. So, the question is that how did you discover your call to religious life?
So, well, Nancy, call to religious life. I would like to share that I completed my schooling from St. Patrick's Convent, Devlali, Nasik. It's a school run by the Franciscan Hospitaller Sisters, whom I belong to now. I always admired the sisters in school. What I liked the most was the discipline, the strict environment, which I enjoyed personally. The value education classes and catechism classes was the best. The first Friday masses in the school, Station of the Cross on Wednesdays and Fridays, summer holiday masses to attend in the parish, I just loved those days because I wanted to be holy like our sisters. The love for the Eucharist I learned from our sisters. Even after I left school, I never missed the Eucharist and adoration in the parish. Receiving Jesus daily was like being in His presence and carrying Him within you. Those days, every time I used to look at the sisters, I would always dream to be one of them. And at the same time, I would think, no, that's not what I want to be.
So then, sister, what you wanted to be?
As time passed, I had forgotten about being a nun once I dreamt of. I lost my dad. Being the eldest sibling of 5, I wanted to support my mom because of the financial crisis. And I did support, was happy. And as the days passed by, actually, I wanted to join the army.
Sister, you wanted to join army. So, what was that one thing that struck to be a nun then?
Listening and being nourished together with the Word and Eucharist. God's love kept chasing me. And I joined Jesus' army.
It's good to know that you have joined Jesus' army. So, I would like to know that how was that journey for you?
I attended many vocation camps organized by our sisters. I did attend a few of them, and I really enjoyed those camps. After that camp that I attended in Mount Mary Convent, Bandra, Mumbai, while returning back, passing St. Peter's Church on Hill Road, Bandra, I remember I requested Sister Antonia, who accompanied us, to stop at St. Peter's Church because I wanted to visit the church. And very kind of Sister Antonia to stop there and allowed us to visit the church. When I entered the church, wow, right at the center above the altar, the huge statue of Jesus, which had a huge letter C-O-M-E, come. It was like a straight invitation for me soon after the camp that I attended. I don't know what happened to me at that moment. That word come was engraved in my mind and my heart. When I returned home those days, that word come kept flashing. My parish priest, very supportive and always motivated me. He is the one who encouraged me and helped me to discern. As I was very regular for my daily Eucharist and adoration, my parish priest then guided me to pray and ask Jesus to show me the way. And slowly I discovered the deepest desire which was once planted in my heart by God got uncovered. And that word, come, never left me. It kept flashing in my mind and heart. I realized, and yes, I discovered I am called. And I immediately acted and expressed my desire to join the Franciscan Hospitaller Sisters, where I was welcomed. And today you see me as I am. I am so thankful to God and very grateful to all my formators. I am very happy in my religious life.
After listening to this, I can understand that being a youth, you might have been confused about your life. And it is said in Matthew chapter 22, verse 14, many are called, but few are chosen, and only few are able to recognize that. You took the courage to answer the call. I was so touched by the part where you mentioned that in big bold letters, it was written, come. And that bold word gave you courage to take bold step for Jesus. As you have answered this question so beautifully, sister, let us move on to your next pick. And I'm excited to know that what will be the next question. So, the next question is, as you said that you belong to Franciscan Hospitaller Sister, Can you please share about your founder and enlighten us about your charism?
My founders are Blessed Maria Clara of Child Jesus and Father Raimundo Beirão. Both have an origin of Portuguese. Well, hospitality is the center, core, and heart of our charism. It's our hallmark as Franciscans. Hospitality for Saint Francis of Assisi meant accepting and serving his friars, the lepers, and the whole of creation as his brothers and sisters, excluding no one of his love. Our founders, Blessed Maria Clara of Child Jesus and Father Raimundo Beirão, were a reflection of the tenderness of God, an apostle of God's mercy, and models of hospitality. They built a hospitaller world around them. Their deep God experiences increased their passion for the poorest of the poor and the marginalized. Everyone was cared for: the sick, the orphan, the old, the young, with tenderness, and they were all helped with loving gestures. That concretized their motto: where there is good to be done, do it.
Oh wow, what a lovely saying. Where there is good to be done, do it. Being associated with you sisters, now I understand what charism actually means. Your hospitality, warm, kind, loving gesture. As I have experienced all of this, now I got the actual essence of your charism. So, Sister Rufina, as you have beautifully explained charism to us, so my question is that how do you incarnate this charism of hospitality today in its history?
Our founder, Father Raimundo Beirão, often used to tell the sisters, "Daughters, have a great charity towards the poor." And our foundress, Blessed Maria Clara, too inspires us in her words: "In everything be a true religious and true daughters of the poor man of Assisi." Their journey of life was of merciful hospitality. Their passion and love for the people of God, reaching out to the more needy in the footsteps of Jesus. Well, Nancy, how do I incarnate the charism of hospitality today? As I said, I work with the marginalized rural youth here in Klaraniketan. We, the sisters, have hearts large enough to embrace all, make the youth feel at home with no distinction of caste, color, or creed. Rich, poor, or physically challenged, all are welcomed. We strive to give time and space. With so much of individualism all around, we sisters remain communal. As Franciscans, our way of life challenges us to persevere in compassion and love for those we serve in our apostolate, especially the poor, the marginalized, and the vulnerable.
Very rightly said, sister. Being in and out of Klaraniketan, interacting with the youth, I have experienced this. You sisters have hearts large enough to embrace all. Actually, when I think about how you have lived your life, until now, I have this question. Sister Rufina, you renounced your family life and consequently biological motherhood. I would like you to share how you have lived and have been living this experience. Can you please tell us about the beauty and the reality of spiritual motherhood?
Spiritual motherhood, I like that word. I like what Pope Francis says. He said that the consecrated are mothers. They must be mothers and not spinsters. He also says to be fertile spiritual mothers. And what I feel, every woman is born with maternal instincts. An instinct of loving, caring, soothing, providing an environment in which one can grow and feel safe. I had the opportunity to take care of my siblings in the absence of my mother at home, which makes easy for me to reach out in my apostolate today. I feel so blissful when the youth comes to share and seek help and place their trust and confidence in me. In our skilling center at present, the youth I am working for come from a rural background, mostly farmers' children. Because of the continuous farming occupation, their parents have no time for their children. Also, most of the parents lack education, which results to lack of guidance and support from their parents. Most of the youth whom I encounter in our apostolate are school dropouts, no option what to choose in life, facing failures, early broken marriages, into different addicts, bad habits, loneliness, lack of belongingness, some of them fully shattered due to broken relationships. I do not miss this opportunity, as the trainees are there for 3 months under training in the center. In my capacity, I reach in helping and guiding them, making them feel loved and making them feel their worth, making them realize their intelligence and their brilliance, helping them to blossom to the fullest as beautiful human being. As I take up every day a topic in my life skill class, I help them to discover their own space, help them to discern, and help them to put their heart and soul into what they must do.
Being a youth, I can understand all the miseries that youngsters are facing. And you sisters, as spiritual mothers, one or the other way, be it in church, society, and centers, have helped youth to bring confidence in them. And listening about motherhood, I have never thought about spiritual motherhood. Thank you for sharing your perspective about motherhood. So, as you know, that 2020 was a hard time for all of us. So, sister, I would like to know that how did you reach out to the needy during pandemic?
Yes, Nancy, we were all caught unawares. We experienced that global standstill. As for skilling, we kept our institute open. The youth who did not have phones to attend online classes were allowed to come to the centers, and all those who felt the need to come for practice were all welcomed. It was also very noteworthy as our sisters went to the peripheries in those days of difficult situations to give basic needs to the affected families and all those people in need. Our sisters responded the urgency to go out to provide care and help in different countries like in India, Portugal, Africa, Mexico, Philippines. Our sisters reached out with material, medical, and spiritual help.
Sister, with all of these experience that you had, can you please share a testimony of your trainee that you vividly remember?
Well, Nancy, as you know, collaborating with Don Bosco Tech Society, it is a gateway of a respectable job and career for the less privileged. I would like to share about a young boy aged 22 years, lives with his parents, his mother a housewife, his father works as a sewing machine and gas repairer, goes on his cycle door to door, ringing bell of the cycle whole day, and earns 150 to 200 per day. During the lockdown, his father was not able to move out and earn the day's living. So just outside his house, his father sold vegetables for some income for the house. He was many times shunned by the police, but he never gave up and still continued to work. His father works very hard to educate his children. The boy, Amit Malvia, got to know about Don Bosco Tech Clara Niketan Center through a website and got in touch with Klaraniketan, which is almost 18 kilometers away from his residence. His father wanted him to finish his graduation, but he couldn't wait because this 3 months skilling also guarantees 100% job after the training. He was waiting to write his final exam, which was postponed due to COVID-19. The 3 months program is of enormous help for the less privileged youth who are restricted by social norms. Amit Malviya completed his course as assistant electrician, and through an associate of mine placed him on a petrol pump station as an assistant manager and is paid a good handsome salary of rupees 10,000, which is a great help for his family. He supports his family by paying house tax, electricity bill and gas fuel, and for his own education. During his course, along with skill in Klaraniketan, Amit Malviya shares he learned to be confident, to be creative, to understand oneself and able to solve problems. He feels encouraged and motivated, as given opportunities to show one's leadership qualities. He also learned to communicate well, to collaborate while working in groups, handle programs held in Klaraniketan, was able to adapt himself well with everyone. He shares that he got a platform to grow, which he did not get during his school days nor in college days.
Sister, I'm very happy to see that you were with the people. Even during the pandemic, where others wanted to stay at home to save their own life. Being devoted to God and working in His name, and listening to you has given me the feeling that God is so important in our lives. And whatever we do in His name, it's always accomplished and is successful. Without Him, there is nothing. In these busy times, sometimes we forget about God. Sister, as we are in the end of our interaction, what would you like to tell us, like how it is important to include God in our life and to answer God's call?
Thank you, Nancy. Our God is a loving God. He loves us as we are. I honestly urge the youth to actively participate and be involved in church's mission, to be a part of all the sacramental celebrations, especially the Eucharist, to share one's talents and skills through music for the greater glory of God, to contribute and share one's wisdom and knowledge, interact with clergy and religious, seek help and guidance from them. Never ever give up on God. Moments of prayers and silence, being open to the Spirit and listening to the Spirit, helps us to answer God's call. Let us be attracted to the person of Jesus, our hero.
Thank you so much, sister, for sharing experiences of your life. It was good to know about your vocation, your call, and your work. I am so touched and enlightened by hearing your experiences. I understand that you were always moved and guided by the love of Jesus, and you are an inspiration for the youth. As we have reached towards the end and taking all the beautiful experiences with us, I would like to end up by asking the same question by Pope Francis. How is your love today? The love of Jesus. Is it like the first love? Am I as in love today as on the first day? As St. Paul says, let us do everything in love. Thank you.